Hello, Digfig here, and welcome to a no-nonsense review of The Division 2. The game just came out, you might say. How could you already have an opinion? Well, I have played 52 hours of the live game already, kinda no-lifed it. I have played in the alpha, the closed beta, the technical beta, and the open beta, giving me well over 100 hours in this game so far. Now let's get right into the review, and the too long, I don't care version is yes, you should absolutely pick up this game. It's worth the $60, and thank you guys for trusting my opinion with no facts or backing it up. Now in this video, I will do a quick explanation of what The Division 2 is, why it's worth $60, and then I'll finish off with some maybe you won't like this game, depending on the type of person you are. For starters, The Division 2 is a third-person looter shooter that takes place in a post-apocalyptic world focused in Washington, D.C. For those who have never played a looter shooter, start off at level 1, you work your way up to level 30 through a campaign. Then you reach what we call Endgame, where the objective for a looter game is to farm loot during game activities. It's to make your character as powerful as you can, and we call that min-maxing. Okay, why do I think this game is worth $60? It's a fun game. They did a wonderful job with level design, the gunplay, the sounds, the mob types, the loot, the difficulty, and the character building. Even if you just pick this game up and play through the campaign, you're looking at about 30 to 40 hours of gameplay. And it might even take you longer than that if you explore the world and do some side activities. It took us about 22 hours, but I played with one other person and we have over 1,000 hours in the Division each basically, and we just flew through content, so that's not a fair representation what your average gaming experience will be. Another reason I love The Division 2 is that everything can be completed solo or in a group of 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people, and when they add raid content, you're gonna need up to 8 people. And co-op games are hard to find, and really good ones are very hard to find. And this game will have lots of fun moments for you with your friends. You'll be laughing, one of your friends will be swearing because the AI can be a little difficult and they like to flank too much. We'll have lots of funny moments, inside jokes, you'll just be having a blast, and that alone can make any game worth it for me. Now let's talk Endgame. It's amazing, guys. A game launched, and you reached max level, and then there's still more stuff to do. You don't have to wait months, you don't have to wait for DLCs or patches. Like, they just know that when you reach Endgame, you want something to do. So you just spent 30 to 40 hours doing missions, and you're kind of bored of that, and you want something different. Just go explore the open world. You can open up boxes and see what this beautiful world has to offer you. You'll find lots of random events going on. You could do events that actually just level up control points, and the more you level up a control point, the better the loot gets and the harder it gets. You could go talk to a bounty guy and go get some bounties and go hunt some badasses. Or you could stand up and man up and go in the DZ and join that stressful little show. Or if you really wanted to, you could queue up for 4v4 PvP. And then when you're done doing all that stuff and you're kind of like, oh, I wish there was something to do, you could go back and try those missions on challenging difficulty to get really good loot. And there's just, you can rotate all of these activities, which they're just going to be adding more, I might add, to keep you engaged and entertaining. There's enough different things to do where when you're like, oh, I'm done grinding this one thing right now, I need to do something different, you can actually go do something different. There's not just a single activity that gives you good loot. And now you're farming all these things and you're getting gear. Now the gear is actually one of the main reasons I think people should try this game. And if you enjoy looter games, you're going to love this. And the system is very complex and there's insane build diversity. I'm going to try and explain it really shortly here because it's way too complex for me to go too deep into. But let's say you have a chess piece that drops. The chess piece has, say, 6 slots in it, where anything could be in these 6 slots. And a talent takes up 1 slot, +2 1 stat takes up a slot, and a mod slot takes up a slot. They ain't slot a lot, but just bear with me. So you'll have one that lands with 3+ attributes, so that's 3 slots taken, 2 talents, that's 2 more slots taken, giving you 5, and then it gives you 1 mod slot, so that's all 6 slots taken. But it gets really interesting here where those things can stack in the stat department. So you could get a chest that drops with only +2 stats on it, but those 2 stats will be really high. And that'll be because it actually rolled, say, 3 critical hit damage and 3 damage to elites on that chest piece, and it stacked them together. And that alone leads to crazy build diversity and min-maxing to a level that I don't think we've ever seen before. And that's across 6 pieces of gear. Then you have your gun talents, your gun damage rolls, all your synergy between your guns, your holster talents. Then you have all your skills, which have 3 different skill mod slots in them alone. Then you have which specialty you want. You start to get this complex spider web of build diversity and options and min-maxing, and possibly, like, I keep thinking of the PoE skill tree of just how ridiculous and overwhelming it can be. But I personally love the complexity of it, and that there's going to be almost limitless specializations and being able to focus your character that we haven't seen in any game, where the Division 1 was pretty simple and easy to do. This is the best in slot, this is the best that's all you need, and you moved on. This game is going to have some serious longevity for those people that want to go really deep down the min-maxing rabbit hole. Now, a quick wrap up of why I feel it's worth it. The game is visually stunning. It has very good PvE content, very good PvP content, and lots of stuff to do endgame that you can enjoy with friends. They'll only be adding more to it, so that's awesome. Also, I didn't mention that the game company Massive has a reputation where they really screwed up the Division, but they stuck with it and they made it now what I think is one of the best PC games you could buy, and they are just expanding on that in this one, and I really do trust them. Even if they royally screw this up, they will fix it at some point and your money will not go to waste. And to have a tune that is being close to maxed out, or that you've min-maxed for a while, you are looking at probably between 100 to 1,000 hours of gameplay, depending on how many different builds you want to min-max and how deep down that min-maxing rabbit hole you want to go. And for $60, that is a very good value. Now for why I might not think it's worth it for some people. One, the loot system is really complex, and you'll basically need a gifted mind to properly min-max your character, and you'll have to watch a lot of YouTube videos and stay up to date on people just to know what you should be focusing on or what's good for things. But that being said, with the spreadsheet, which I know I have and a lot of people I've been playing with have, our own personal spreadsheets, so we can keep track of everything we have and what we should and shouldn't be doing, you'll be able to do it, and it gives a good level of really crazy level of deepness, which is awesome for a game. But I know that'll scare some people away who just kind of want to be more mindless about it and really, I know this, so this equals that, where this game isn't quite that simple. The difficulty, if you're brand new to video games or newish, might scare you away. You really have to kind of know what you're doing to maneuver properly. The AI is very smart, and they will always try and flank you and shoot you in the butt. And that can get really frustrating if you're not used to being in combat environments in video games, or the mindset of keeping track of where all the pieces are and the multitasking. But that can also be freed up a little by playing with friends and people who are a little bit better, so you can learn as you go. Now, if it's not your first rodeo, it's going to be awesome. The challenge is going to push you to be better, and it's going to feel really good. And then there comes to the bugs. The game did just launch. There are some annoying bugs. They're not game breaking, but if you don't want to even deal with any bugs at all, just wait a month, read some patch notes, keep up to date on it, until you feel like the game is solid enough for you to jump in. I still think it's the most solid launch there's been in maybe the last 10 years, so that's something to be said. They are doing a wonderful job, and I can't say enough. I think this game is worth the $60. You will definitely get your money's worth. It will not let you down, and Massive have proven that they will stick with the game and that they will make it good in the long run. All that being said, I really do appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope it helps you decide on whether or not you're going to pick up the game and give it a shot, which I really hope you do. And I will see you in the next video. Dig out.